We are asked to convert 7/16 to a decimal. So let's talk about how to convert. And guys, this is very important because a lot of times students don't like dealing with fractions. So being able to convert it to a decimal or vice versa is really helpful in terms of what we need to do. So if we want to convert 7/16 to a decimal, we are going to take the denominator, which in this case is 16, and divide it into 7. Now, if we were using a calculator, it wouldn't be bad. We'd just do 16 divided by, or 7 divided by 16. But because we're going to do this by hand, I'm going to have to do long division. So I'm going to divide 16 into 7. Now, unfortunately, 16 doesn't go into 7, so I'm going to have to put a decimal here, and I'm going to fill in with a 0. So, guys, every time we need an extra spot, we're going to keep putting zeros in until we finish dividing this thing out. Alright, so 16 won't go into 7, but it will go into 70. Let me bring my decimal point up here. And 16 will go into 74 times. So 16 times 4 is going to give me a 64, so I'm going to subtract my 64 out. Draw my line. Well, 70 minus 64 is 6. So we've got a remainder, so I'm going to keep going. So I'm going to add another 0 up top, and I'm going to bring it down. So we start all over again. Well, how many times does 16 go into 60? Well, 16 goes into 60 3 times because 3 times 16 is a 48. So I'm going to subtract 48 when I multiply that out. So 60 minus 48 is going to give me a 12. Well, that's still not a remainder of 0. So I'm going to draw me or put me another 0 up there and bring it down. We start all over. So how many times does 16 go into 120? Well, 16 times 7 is going to give me 112, so let's go with 7. So 16 times 7 is 112. And 120 minus 112 is going to give me an 8. Well, that's still not a remainder of 0, so let me put a 0 and drop down my next 0 here. And one more time, 16 will go into 80 exactly 5 times because 16 times 5 is 80. So if we subtract out our 80, that leaves us with a remainder of 0. So that's how we know that we need to stop on this problem, unless the particular problem you're working tells us to round to a certain decimal place. Well, since ours didn't, we want the whole entire number. So 7/16 as a decimal is going to be equivalent to 0.4375. Now let me just mention about the 0 up front. Technically in a math class, you do not have to put a 0 up front. But if you plan on taking any type of medical classes, whether it be your nursing or pharmacology classes, whatever, they want the 0 up front. So if you are going to be in those particular fields, I go ahead and recommend you put the 0 up front.